Alright, I'm back on. I caught the bee swarm, got them in our bucket, and I'm going to set up a hive body here, try and give that colony a new place to live. You might have heard me in my earlier video today where I've got some bees ordered to repopulate some hives. This is one that I was going to rebuild, so with this swarm I'll just have an extra set of bees, which will be excellent. Maybe I'll end up with 5 hives this year. So, let me grab some gear. We'll take a look at what it takes to pretty much set up a beehive from scratch. I'll be coming and going as I grab stuff out of my truck. Alright, this is a screened bottom board. As you see, screen makes the bottom of the beehive that everything sits on top of. I'm going to set this down here on my blocks. Let me adjust the camera a little so we can see. There we go. This is the way I do it. I've got some blocks sitting down here. This guy's going to sit nice and level on there. I'm going to pop this off. That's an entrance reducer. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Alright, so that's the bottom board. Next thing we need is a hive body to sit on here. So let me grab one. Here's a hive body. So again, from my other video, I had a different style of beehive, one that I built myself. Horizontal with the top that was hinged and opened up. This is more of a traditional beehive that you'll see out. This box holds 10 frames in it. So if I pull one out, it's got 10 of these. Now I've got 10 frames of drawn comb. What that means is it's from a previous beehive where the bees have already set up comb in there, so the new bees don't have to work as hard. You know, if you start from scratch with empty frames, the very first thing they have to do is build comb before they can store any resources. These guys, hopefully, they'll just get right to packing in their resources and they'll be nice and happy here. So, that makes the bottom of the beehive. Now, as the colony gets bigger and there's more bees, the next thing you do is take another deep box like this, set it right on top with 10 more frames. And those two boxes sort of are the brood chamber, where the queen lays all the eggs, creates new bees, and all that kind of thing. And then on top of that, you put additional boxes where they start to store honey. But to start with, it's just one box on the bottom. Here, I'll talk about the tops, and then we'll get into doing the bees. For a traditional hive body like this, raise this up just a little bit. You get 2 covers that go on it. This is the inner cover. Hooks on just like that. Keeps all the bees in there. It does have a hole in top, so if you want to do like a bottle feeder, you can put it on top of here. This is the outer cover. Goes on over all that. This is made of metal, nice and waterproof, sheds all the water. So that's pretty much it for just an absolute start from scratch beginning hive. I'm going to give them the 1 hive body. Hope that that's enough. I was debating if I should just go straight to 2 or just start with 1. I think I'm going to start with the 1 and see what happens. The other thing I was debating about is, do I leave the hive open or not? So you can see down here, there's this big slot. That's where the bees come and go. This is an entrance reducer that can go into that space. If I put it in like this, there's just a little tiny hole. If I put it in like this, there's a bigger hole. As colonies are new, smaller, and weaker, you can put an entrance reducer in to reduce the size that the bees have to protect. When it's open like it is right now, that's a giant pathway for anything that wants to go in to try to steal resources to go in, and the bees have to protect that whole thing. I like to use a small size entrance reducer and knock it down. I'm just noticing there's a big chunk out of this one, which means it's going to have 2 openings. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in that way. I was trying to decide if I should completely close it up for overnight. I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm going to go with this. Put it in this way, Gives them a much smaller, maybe, if I can get it in there. Gives them a much smaller space that they have to guard and protect against intruders. So it's just right there that they have to be concerned about. I think that will be a really good setup for these guys. Get my covers off. This cover off. Now, it's time to put our bees in that we captured. I think probably the best idea is going to be pull 2 frames out. Gives me some space to hopefully dump all the bees in. Give them a few seconds to settle, and then I'll slide the 2 back in. Of course, I'll slide them in nice and slow and try not to hurt any of the bees in the process. Obviously, the main goal is to, whatever you do, don't damage the queen. She's the most important one. All right. Grab a little bit of gear. We'll get into this. Okay, that looks like that'll be a fairly decent angle. Bring it up a little bit more, just so you get a better shot of what's going on. Okay, let's try this. I'm thinking smoke is a good idea. These guys are going to be a little angry. They were just hanging out on their tree branch, minding their own business, waiting for the scout bees to come back and tell them they found a nice new place for them to live. And I went in and scooped them all up. So I'm sure they're not going to be in the best of moods. However, they've had a little while to calm down. Do I have my brush with me? I do. All right, let's try this. Gonna nice and smooth with them. They seem to be doing all right. There we go. Set this lid right here. The rest of them will take flight and blow just a little bit of smoke. Hopefully it helps keep them calm. Bulk of them out now. See, hopefully, there's a whole bunch of bees in there. There's also a stick in here, so I'm going to try and grab that stick. It fell in off the tree. I'm thinking that will help me bring a whole bunch of these bees out. There we go. Look at that. There's 2 sticks in there. I don't want sticks inside the hive. The bees will never, won't be able to get them out. These leaves, try to keep out as well. And I dropped it right in there. Well, I think they'll easily be able to deal with the leaves. You can hear them buzzing. Definitely making some noise. But you can see how calm they are too. They're not like attacking me or, trying to sting me or anything like that. They're just hanging out. Seem to be nice and calm. Like they're getting in there in between the frames, starting to explore that. That's probably a good sign. There we go. Got those little sticks up there. Feel one. One was trying to get into my ankle there. lot of leaves down there. Hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, and the number one thing that matters here is that I got the queen. And if I got the queen, the rest of them will stay where she's at. In there, a little smaller than the rest. Wherever they split their hive. There we go. There's probably about 10 or 12 bees left down in the bucket. Leave it sit there for a few minutes and they'll come out, I'm sure. Alright, now. There's a stick in here I need to get out. Get over there, ladies. Try and get some of the leaves out of there. Probably not a good thing to have a bunch of debris inside the hive. That's just extra work that the bees have to do to deal with it. Alright, ladies, be cool. In case you didn't know, an interesting fact about bees, like all these bees that are here, they're all female. Bees inside a hive, for the most part, every single one of them is a female. There are male bees, they're called drones. They're larger in size, but they don't live in the hive. So when they're hatch out, they leave. Alright, there we go. Got all those leaves out of there. Alright, I'm going to pop these frames back down in here. Out of the way. Nice and gentle. If I'm slow like this, the bees that are in the way will have an opportunity to move out of the way. Okay. And now we do this last one. And we're going to be nice and slow and gentle. Stick that in there. There we go. Hive is populated. Now, we're going to put an outer cover on. Close those guys up like that. That was our inner cover, sorry. Now I'm going to put the outer cover on. And put a block on top, put some weight on there, make sure that the wind can't blow it off. And there we have it. Hopefully, these bees will find that to be a nice new home for them. More. There we go. And be nice and productive here. A couple more in here. I'm going to get them out. Come on, ladies. Everybody comes out of the bucket. Here we go. Bucket's empty. Brand new bees. Alright. looks like that's it. Well, we'll check back in a few days and we'll see how they're doing. Hopefully they are living here in this hive and are nice and happy about it. I'll try to keep you updated.